to go. So employment, government should work on that. I think employment should be provided to the citizens of this country, because people are really suffering. You go to school, complete school, you have nothing to do, you just stay at home working, moving around ghettos and doing nothing. That is one of the main reasons why a lot of them are doing. Because if you are employed or you have your own workshop where you go, wake up every day to go and do something, until you will not leave it like that and just go on a journey which you know that you can end up losing your life. So unemployment is the main reason. That's why a lot of people are going on the bad way, and the journey is so dangerous because it was so unfortunate. If we look at some of the videos of those people, it is so heartwarming. I was really happy with that on Saturday. I think I saw it on Saturday where I saw people lying down dead. So it is so unfortunate, Mr. Fatty. Yeah.
So we're talking about reforms of the educational system that will also help to reduce the cost, on the government, the rate of unemployment. So I think educational reform, how important will the educational sector reforms be to us, the Gambians?
Educational sector reform is important to every country, especially the Gambia, which we know that our educational system, I think it is so lagging behind. The skill we're using at school, teachers are using at school is old one, which we went through that one. Our children are going through it. Our grandparents went through it. I think there should be changes. Those generations and the one we are in are far different. People, we have more population, so you cannot depend on a scheme which was formed for school, for basic education for about 50 years. We are still using the same thing. So government should reform. They should try to change, where they will introduce vocational skill in the school system, which will help a lot of young people. While you're going to school, you are learning a skill. After school, I think you'll be more strong to go on for that skill than only depending on the formal way of education, where if you go to college, you go to university, you learn. If you don't have employment, you come and sit back, or you involve yourself on journeys which are so dangerous. So educational reform is a need for the Gambia. So,
yeah. And then that will take us to another item. But I would also want to talk about this thing because of migration. In our episode number 3, we talk about it. But migration is a major issue, not only in Ghana, Africa as a whole, and the world at large. But the way it's happening here is dangerous. So now, especially this, we are in the rainy season, and then the youth are also taking this dangerous journey. Like imagine you've loaded the boat of 160 migrants, and it's raining with storm and everything. The chance of surviving will be, let's say, 50 to 90. It's really dangerous. So I think the boat owners and of course our brothers and sisters, because in this thing also is more than 10 female who also were part of this boat. People, we are not saying people cannot travel, but let's try to find a way that is genuine. And then if you are going this dangerous journey too, you have to do your survey very well. You have to look at, consider the weather factor. You have to do this, but don't listen to the people, the agents who just want nothing from you. They don't even need your soul. They only need your money. Because what they want you to pay your $50,000, and then they arrange themselves. They tell you the road is okay, the weather is fine. They don't want. They just say go to hell, go and kill yourself in the sea. So you putting your money in this dangerous journey, you have to analyze, and then you have to know when the weather is good. Because there are times that at least you cannot predict the weather, but it's better. But there are times that it's 50-50.
Yeah, especially in September when it started. September going towards October, the weather is always very terrible. You have rain with thunder, with lightning, so it is so dangerous. We see even if you are in your room, you get scared of those lightning and thunder. So what of someone is?
Let me tell you one story. I remember in 2014, when I was going to Ghana, it was around September 13-14. I was going to Ghana. It was at night. We left Lagos heading to Ghana. The heavy rain, the thunder started on the sky. It was raining heavily, man. The cabin crew in the pilot, they made announcement. Let's all be seated. tighten your belt. We are in the bad weather, so they let's avoid movement inside the plane. So that because around the tune and the rear wing is like the plane is running on a bad road. So imagine an aeroplane for that matter. How about a boat on the surface of the sea? Yeah, so it's serious.
Where even those I don't know whether they are drivers of the boat or what.
The pilots.
The pilot. Yeah. Okay, those pilots.
The captain.
The captain. The
aeroplane is the pilot.
Yes, those captain, they don't even machine. They don't have machine that monitor them, that direct them. That we are going to enter in a bad weather, or the place we are heading to is not a good place for us. But they are just working blindly. They don't have anything controlling them. The only thing they have is, I'm used to the sea. I'm used to this. I can do this. So they carry a lot of life and put them in one boat and try to drive someone who, if you don't know where he or she is heading to, they just ride and move into the sea.
All right.
So I think the bad way should not be an option.
Right.
The bad way should not be an option because it is so deadly and dangerous for everybody.
All right, let's do a bit of African roundup because Zambian President Hakimi said that he is confident that the row between the family of the late former President Lunga and the Zambian government will end sooner than many expect. His comments follow up the series of court processes that have been burial of the later president, speaking on the African here and some podcasts on that particular issue. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has launched a 6-member task force examining inequalities in global weather, the impact on the global economy. The initiative, which has been described as the first of its kind, seeks to fight practical ways to resolve the growing gap between the rich and the rest of the world. The task force is chaired by the Nobel Economic Prize Laurent Joseph, and he is expected to present his findings to G20 leaders in Johannesburg in November this year. Kenya human rights activist Boniface, who has played a prominent role in anti-government protests, say on Wednesday he plans to run for the presidency in the country's 2027 election. He told he was to pay some of Kenya's large debts as well. And still on the program, here are today's major new headlines. South Africa's Equality Court running on Julius Malemba sparked mixed as officials' campaign begin. Gunmen abduct over 100 in a deadly attack in Nigeria's Zamfara state. So those were the top African stories. Let me check these stories for you. What is your best moment for African roundup here? If you look at the African roundup, South Africa's Equality Court ruling on Julius Malemba spark mixed reactions in the country. Tanzania class president candidates as official campaign begin. Gunmen adopt over 100 the deadly attack on Nigerians in the Zamfara region. So you see, Nigeria is adoption still.
Yeah. Nigeria, I think, for them, this adopting, this kidnapping is something which is so, I don't know when will they solve it, but I think African leaders should look into it, and Nigerian government too. I think they should do better. They should look into this issue, because Nigeria is a country, it is a big pillar in West Africa, because it is one of the biggest. When you look at population, it is the biggest country in West Africa. So they are everywhere. So when we have issue with them, always, I think it is affecting the whole of West Africa. Yeah, and politics in Africa, it is always the same. Every country in Africa you go, they will campaign, tell us nice things, but when they are on power, it is something different.
Well, I'm afraid we have less than 4 minutes. Unless maybe you have something that you want to share with the Gambians regarding the current affairs of God. I think the gala, we don't read the gala stuff. The gala also have a right National Sport Council and National Assembly to respond to their letter. The gala respond right to the National Sport Council and the National Assembly to respond to their 23rd July protest petition.
petition.
Yes.
I to their petition. I think it is about a month now. So I think they should reply to them. They should reply to them. It is high time they reply to them. Yeah. Because they are there for Gambian news, they are there for Gambia. So we deem it necessary that we should know what is happening in our country. So when you are a petition as a government institution, I think you should reply. There is a story which I was trying to look at on the standard, which is minors that rape a girl.
Let me go with the article before we go. I think it will be okay. The two minors.
Yeah, the two minors.
Yeah. It was on the last week edition.
Yeah. Yes, I saw it that it is only 29.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think the two minors raped a 16-year-old girl. About the article never mentioned the girl's name, just for stigma in the society. So I think this is dangerous. So that's why all those things should be important, because of imagine if those minors have to go to the prison and then they go there and waste their time there for 20 to 15 years without any better skills coming out again. How are they going to reintegrate themselves in the society? So that's why I agree with the government when they make an announcement that they're going to make huge changes when it comes to the prison system of the country as they plan to build a new one.
Yeah, Mr. Fadi, for me, I will talk about parents. I think parents, we should watch what our children do at home. You cannot take a phone, you take a phone, a smartphone, give it to a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old. That one will enter the internet. You don't control that phone. They enter anywhere they want on this internet. And there are a lot of things which are not proper for minors to say in the internet. And they are watching them. When they watch those things, they will tell that, I should try this thing. So where are you going to try it? They do things which they're supposed not to do. So as a parent, I think you should watch what your children or your child do with their phones. If you give them, it is good to give them phones to learn, because now the world is revealing around the internet. But control them, control their phones, and see that they should not watch. There are apps which they control where your children can go into and where they cannot go into. So I think that is so important. Parents will look into it and stop allowing their children to watch certain things which are not proper for them, which will lead them to things which are so immoral in society.
Thank you very much, Adama Nyang, from me, Allahag Fatty, and the rest of the team, Mohammed Jame and his technical team. Thank you to you all for the pleasure of your company. Till we come again tomorrow, God will. Adama, will you come tomorrow? Because somebody texted me last week to say, Allahag, what's happened to Adam? Maybe you are here. You can tell them what happened, why you are
okay, guys, I was so busy last week. I traveled out of the country just to our neighboring country, so I could not make it to the studio. But this week, inshallah, I will be here and we will be bringing you all the topics and the latest news in the country, and we will try to give our opinion on them. So from me and I think from Mr. Fatty, we say goodbye and say follow us tomorrow on the same time, the same frequency, while we bring you the latest news in the country. Bye bye for now.
You know even delay small.